Assalamu alaikum students of grade 7. I am your English teacher from Light School, present here once again with English grammar lessons. We have completed our topic number 1, noun and its kinds in lecture number 1. I hope you have prepared your lecture. Today we are going to start our topic 2, kinds of verb. Before discussing the kinds of verb, it is better to define verb at first. So we are going to discuss definition of verb. A verb is a word that tells us or says something about a person or thing. It shows an action or state of something. So the word which shows an action is called a verb. Here are some examples. The sun rises in the east. She has learned her lesson. Girls were singing. Here the underlined words are verbs, as the sun rises in the east. The word rises is a verb because it is showing an action of rising. Similarly, the word learned also shows an action of learning, so it is also a verb. And in the third example, the word singing is also showing an action, that is of singing. So it is verb. These are verbs. Now we move towards forms of verb. Forms of verb according to tense or time of action. Verb has three forms according to tense as below. So according to tense, when we keep tense in our mind, there are three forms of verb. These forms are: number 1, base form. It is also called first form and it is identified with V1. V means verb. Verb 1 means first form. Second is past simple. It is second form and it is identified with V2. Verb second. Third one is past participle. It is third form of verb and it is identified with V3. So students, these are three forms of verb according to tense. But here is a note for you. Note: ing is added to base form verb. Base form verb is the first form of verb, and if we add ing with first form of verb, it becomes present participle, which is used in continuous tenses. For example, here are the examples of forms of verb. Go. The word go is a verb and it is V1, first form of verb. Went. Went is the second form of verb, past simple. Gone. Gone is the third form of verb, past participle. And going is first form of verb plus ing. It is present participle, which is used in continuous tenses. So students, these were the forms of verb which we will use in our tenses in our later discussion. Now we shall discuss the kinds of verb. There are many kinds of verb, such as number 1, dynamic verbs, number 2, stative verbs, number 3, regular verbs, number 4, irregular verbs, number 5, auxiliary verbs, number 6, transitive verbs, and number 7, intransitive verbs. So students, we shall discuss these types of verbs one by one. Now we are going to discuss kinds of verb in detail. The first kind of verb is dynamic verbs. Verbs describe action or state. Most of the verbs describe action. Such verbs are called dynamic verbs. As we have earlier discussed in the definition of verb, that verbs describe action or state. But some verbs are such verbs that only describe the action of verb. These are called dynamic verbs. Examples are: he works in a factory. I bought a computer. He works. Works is a verb which is showing an action. Action is of working. I bought a computer. Bought is a verb and it is also showing an action. It is action of buying. So these verbs are describing the action. So these are dynamic verbs. The second type of verbs is stative verbs. Its definition is some verbs describe state of something. These verbs are called stative verbs. So the verbs those describe the state of something, they are stative verbs. They do not describe action, they describe state. For example, John seems happy. Here the verb seems is a verb and it describes John's state of being happy. So it is stative verb. He resembles his brother. Resembles is a verb and it is describing his state of resembling his brother. So it is stative verb. Our third type of verbs is regular verbs. Some verbs form their past simple means second form of verb and past participle means third form of verb by adding ed to their base first form. They are called regular verbs. So here is a verb. We have a verb and we are going to make its second and third forms. We can add ed at the end of that verb. That becomes second and third form. It is regular verb. Its method is that we will take a base verb. We will add ed to that base verb. First form of verb will be taken and ed will be added. It will become second and third form of verb that are past simple and past participle forms. Here are examples. Laugh. Laugh is a base verb, means first form of verb. We have added ed at the end of laugh and it has become past simple second form of verb and also past participle third form of verb. Similarly, see in the second example, look. Look is a base verb. It is first form of verb. We have added ed at the end of the look and it has become looked. Now it has become past simple or second form of verb and looked past participle third form of verb. So it is regular verb. Here is the fourth type of verb, that is irregular verbs. Some verbs form their past simple and past participle in different ways. They are called irregular verbs. Earlier we have discussed regular verbs that they form their past simple and past participle by adding ed. But here we cannot add ed because these are irregular verbs. They form their first and second forms differently. Here are the examples. Now. Now is a base form. It is first form of verb and we are going to make its second form or past participle and it is new. We cannot add ed at the end of now because it is irregular verb and it will become new in its second form and noun in its third form. Similarly, look at the second example, drink. Drink is a base form, first form and drank is its second form, past participle. Drunk is third form. Drank was past simple and drunk is past participle. So these three forms are different. Now, new, noun, these are different from each other. Drink, drank, drunk, these are different from each other. So they are irregular verb. In regular verb, our second and third forms were same. Laughed, laughed. But in irregular verb, our second and third forms are different. New, noun. So they are irregular verbs. Note. Some verbs remain same in the base form, past simple and past participle. It means that the three forms, first, second and third of some verbs are the same. Examples, cut, cut, cut. Shut, shut, shut. Cut is first form, cut is second form and cut is third form. Similarly, shut, shut, shut. These are first, second and third forms. These are same. Our fifth type of verb is auxiliary verbs. Its definition is an auxiliary verb is a verb that changes or helps another verb. It is also called helping verb. So as this verb helps other verb, so it is called helping verb. Its examples are is, am, are, was, were, being, can, could, do, does, did, has, have, had, etc. So friends, the verbs which we use as helping verbs in a sentence are called auxiliary verbs. The sixth kind of verb is transitive verbs. The verbs which need to have object in sentence are called transitive verbs. In other words, the verbs which cannot be completed without an object, they are transitive verbs. So the sentence in these verbs remains incomplete without object, as in the examples, he bought a car. This is a complete sentence because we have used object here. If we remove the object, we say he bought. It will not give complete sentence without object. And if we add object, he bought a car. So this is a complete sentence. In this way, it becomes transitive verb with an object. The second example is the same. He hit a tree. If we remove the word tree, that is object here, we say he hit. We don't know what he has hit. So it is incomplete. If we want to complete it, we shall say he hit a tree, and it becomes transitive verb. Our last type of verb is intransitive verbs. The verbs which do not need to have object in sentence are called intransitive verbs. So the verbs with object were transitive and the verbs without object are intransitive verbs. The verbs which give complete sentence without object, they are intransitive verb. They do not need an object for their completion. Examples, he slept. It is complete sentence. She is laughing. It is also complete sentence. These two sentences do not need any object to be completed. So these are transitive verbs. So friends, we have completed our topic 2, kinds of verb. You will write these examples and definitions in your notebooks and learn them. Students, now we are going towards our next task, that is tenses. Before we start our tenses, it is better to define tenses. The definition of tense is an aspect of verb which tells the time of an action is called tense. So, a verb which is telling about the time of an action, that when the action was completed, is completed or will be completed, it is tense. The action may be completed in past, in present or in the coming time. So the verb which tells about the time of action, that is called tense. Kinds of tense, there are mainly 3 kinds of tense: present tense, past tense and future tense. Present tense, that is going on in the present time. Past tense, that has been passed in past. And future tense, that is the coming time, what will happen in the coming time, that is future. Students, each of present, past and future tense is further divided into 4 kinds. So we have studied 3 tenses: present tense, past tense and future tense. These 3 tenses, each of these is further divided into 4 kinds, and these 4 kinds are simple, means indefinite, present indefinite tense, past indefinite tense, future indefinite tense. Similarly, our second kind is continuous. It also is called progressive. Present continuous tense or present progressive tense, past continuous tense or past progressive tense, future continuous tense or future progressive tense. Third type is perfect. Present perfect tense, past perfect tense and future perfect tense. Fourth is perfect continuous or perfect progressive. Present perfect continuous tense or present perfect progressive tense. Past perfect continuous tense or past perfect progressive tense. Future perfect continuous tense or future perfect progressive tense. So there are 4 types of each tense and there are 3 tenses. There become 12 tenses. We are going to start our first tense, that is present simple or present indefinite tense. It is used to express an action in present time, habitual or usual action or daily event or universal fact. So present simple tense is used to express an action. It expresses the action that is going on in present time. That is habitual. It can be habit of someone or it can be usual action that is done daily. Daily event. It can be daily event, daily activity. An activity that is based on daily basis or universal fact that cannot be changed. Universal fact also always falls in the category of present simple tense. It can never be changed. It will remain same in every time. So it is universal fact. Examples are I go to school. I go to school. It is habit. It is daily activity that I go to school. Go daily. It is not 1 day or 2 days. Daily go to school. So it is daily activity. So it is present definite tense. And second is he works in a factory. It is usual. It is routine of a person. It is his usual action that he works in a factory. So it is present definite tense. The sun sets in the west. It is a universal fact. It was same in the past. It is same in the present and it will remain same in the future because it is universal fact. It cannot be changed. The sun revolved around the sun set in the west, the sun sets in the west and sun will always set in the west. So it is universal fact, it is unchangeable, it always falls into the category of present simple tense. So we can say the sun sets in the west. Now we are going to discuss the rules of present simple tense. Our first rule is first form of verb or base form is used as main verb in sentence. When we are going to translate this sentence, present indefinite tense, we will use first form of verb. Rule number 2 is structure. In positive sentence, the structure of the tense will be subject, first form of verb that is identified as V1. Next is object. Students, subject is a person who is doing an action. A person who is doing an action. Verb is an action itself and the object is a thing upon which the action is being done. So we shall use subject, then first form of verb and then object. It will become present simple tense. Rule number 3 is if the subject in a sentence is he, she, it or singular noun, then s or es is added to the first form of verb in the sentence. So friends, rule is that if the subject is he, she, it or singular noun, then we will add s or es with the first form of verb. And the rule number 4 is that if the subject in a sentence is I, we, you, they or plural noun, then s or es will not be added to the first form of verb in the sentence. It means that if our subject as I have already told you, subject is a person who is doing a task in a sentence. That is subject. We will start our tense with subject. So if subject is he, she, it or any singular noun, then we will add s or es with our first form of verb. And if our subject is I, we, you, they or plural noun, then we shall not add s or es with the first form of verb in our sentence. Now look at the examples. He gets up early in the morning. Here we have used the subject he. So we have added s with our first form of verb gets. She gets up early in the morning. Here we have added s with she. Ali gets up early in the morning. Ali is also singular. I get up early in the morning. As we discussed in the rule that if we use I as a subject, we shall not add s or es with our verb. Here we have not added s according to the rule. Same is the rule with we. We get up early in the morning. You get up early in the morning. They get up early in the morning. Boys get up early in the morning. So according to the rule, we have added s or es with the verb of he, she, Ali. And according to the rule, we have not given any addition to the verb of I, we, you, they, boys. So friends, these are the simple present tenses. You will do practice at your home by writing sentences of simple present or present indefinite tense, just like I have written a sentence. You will make 10 sentences related to simple present tense and related to all subjects as I have written. Now we move towards negative sentences. The structure of negative sentences is subject plus auxiliary verb, means helping verb, not, then main verb and then object. Here the auxiliary verb or helping verb are do not or does not. So here are the examples. I do not write a letter. Here we have added helping verb after subject. I is subject, do not is helping verb, write is verb and letter is object. He does not write a letter, they do not write a letter. But the question is that where we shall use do and does. So our rule is that do not will be used when our subject is I, we, you, they or plural nouns. If any one of these is our subject, we will use do not. And we shall use does not if our subject is he, she, it or singular noun. So friends, you will write 10 sentences of present negative sentence according to the structure and formula of the tense. Now we are going to solve interrogative sentences. The structure of interrogative sentences is auxiliary verb, helping verb or subject, main verb, object plus question mark. So it becomes our helping verb is do or does. Here we will write the helping verb at the very start of the sentence. Do or does, subject, first form of verb, object and question mark. See the examples. Do I swim? Does she swim? Do they swim? Here there is a rule. We shall use do when our subject is I, we, you, they, plural nouns. And we shall use does if our subject is he, she, it, singular nouns. So friends, by keeping the rules in your mind, you will write 10 sentences of present interrogative sentence. We have completed our first tense, present simple tense, both positive, negative and interrogative sentences. You will do practice at home. Students, now we are moving towards last part of our lecture, that is creative writing, essay number 2, my house. There are some vocabulary words I have used in this essay. Necessity, garden, downstairs, kitchen, upstairs, roses, blessing. You will search these words in the essay. A house is an important necessity. The quality of life improves when you have a house of your own. I live in a small house not far from my school. The house is almost new. It is a little way back from the road, and in front of it there is a garden. A path leads from the gate to the porch. Downstairs there is a lounge, which is a general living room with television. There is a dining room and a kitchen. The drawing room with a large window faces the front lawn. Upstairs are the bedrooms. My father and I love to walk in the garden. We prune the bushes once a year. Prune means to trim, to cut. My mother loves roses and spring flowers and looks after the flower beds herself. I take care to keep the front lawn tidy enough. One's own house is a blessing indeed. So friends, you will write this essay in your notebooks and learn it and underline the vocabulary words. We have completed today's task. This is your 1 week's task. You will learn essay and you will learn definitions and examples of verb, and you will practice tenses. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.